Alright guys, welcome back to the second video of today. If you have not seen, there are new leaks, obviously, like there are basically every Monday. You can go check them out in the top right corner. I will also have this one linked in the description, so go check that out. New leaks for the May pack. We are talking about the April pack though, upcoming selection pack, nightmare arrivals and secret packs. And obviously we have already talked about that before, because the full leaks for this pack were actually leaked. In this case, it seems to be on the Switch version. So someone hacked the Switch version of Master Duel, or checked the Switch version of Master Duel, finding out which cards are coming to the game next. And we have the announcement now, the in-game announcement. If you're not aware, every time we get this announcement here, which means this is the in-game announcement, then there's also, if you open the Master Duel thingy, there's also the announcement from the in-game there. And obviously we are getting this on the April the 11th, which is no big surprise here, because we go over this in a moment. Because once again, as I already told you, every time we get this ban list announcement here, we also know when the next pack is coming, because you can see the next pack is coming, or the ban list is coming on April the 11th. It has been for quite some time now that the ban list will come at the same time when the new selection pack is coming. So this is something that you always can check if you want to know when the next pack is coming. So the first really interesting thing obviously is that we have gotten 2 selection packs in quite like a short duration of time. The last one only being like 2 weeks old. My personal theory, and I've talked about this before, is that they want to play catch up with the OCG and the TCG. So mainly the TCG obviously, because we are far behind. We are 2 main sets behind, and it seems to be so that they want to catch up to the other formats. This is at least what I'm suspecting, which I think makes a lot of sense, because players from the TCG obviously and also from the OCG will then probably come over and also play Master Duel, though you would have to decide whether you want to copy the TCG or the OCG format, because obviously if you go for the TCG format, then you will attract more TCG players, and if you copy the OCG format, you will attract more OCG players. So remains to be seen, but this is only my theory. So what is coming here? What do we know of? Actually, there's one thing we have not known until now, but we get selection pack and nightmare arrivals on April the 11th. All new type illusion type is finally arrived. We have talked about this, the illusion monsters, that you can see it here. If this card battles a monster, neither monster can be destroyed by that battle, which is an effect that every illusion monster, seems to be the case, has. The Nightmare Magician here will probably be one of the pack cover monsters here, and you will also get an animation for him, even though he's not really used in anything, so really useless. We get the new Altergeist support. We have confirmation that the link 4 here will be an ultra rare. I personally am not a big fan of Altergeist, and hope that not a lot of people are playing them, because I think it's a really annoying trap deck or stun deck, way more annoying than is Labyrinth, for example. We know the Volas is coming, which this is a Dino monster, but actually is a very relevant monster, because Volas can be made with 2 level 6 monsters, so very generic. While this card is material, your opponent cannot target it with monster effects, which is already quite nice, because this has 2/5 attack. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, so it's an Omni Negate, you can detach 2 materials from this card, or just 1 material. If all this card's materials are reptile and or dinosaur, then target 1 face-up card your opponent controls negates its effect until the end of this turn. So a targeted Omni Negate, sorry for that, but this is the activation condition, and then you can just choose a card on the field, like with the Archfiend Abyss, the Synchro monster, and then negate it. Obviously way better in a reptile dino deck, because then you can do this twice per turn, because this does not say once per turn, this says once per 1 material, or 2 materials if you don't have dinosaurs. But you could also make this with 2 level 6 generic monsters. So for example, you could also put this in Unchained and then make this with 2 of the level 6 dogs, though you are basically locked into fiends a lot of the time. So that's something to keep in mind, but in theory it would work, right? So a very generic and nice level 6 XYZ monster here. This is always nice. Then we have Chimera, King of the Phantom Beast, which this is the quote-unquote boss monster for the Chimera archetype that you make with your Chimera fusion. One really cool thing about this, so because this card names becomes Chimera, the flying mythical beast, this enables all the effects for the Chimera stuff, the negation effect, the targeting negation effect. But then also, if this card is fusion summoned, you can activate this effect, send 1 random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard during the end phase of this turn, which I think is really, really nice. So ripping 1 card out of your opponent's hands that he then cannot use to break your board, obviously. So we will play the Chimera stuff together with the branded stuff to form a branded Chimera. I will also make a deck guide for this specific deck come the release day. You can see these are the Chimera cards that are coming. Some of them are illusion monsters, and then we get the Chimera fusion, which is the advantage to pure branded Despia is that you have a monster negate and a targeting negate, which branded definitely lacks, though it has turned out through the time playing this deck in the OCG and TCG that the branded pure version, the Despia version, is actually way better, has more options. This is a very linear deck that always does the same basically, but I think a lot of people are still hyped for this, and we will have to see how good it will be in OCG / Master Duel, in Master Duel with us here. Then we have, and this we were not aware of actually, Fusion Armament. Reveal one fusion monster in your extra deck and special summon one of the fusion materials whose name is mentioned on that monster from your extra deck or graveyard, but until the end of your opponent's turn it cannot attack and effects are negated. So correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think this comes together with all the Flame Swordsman stuff, right? We had this Flame Swordsman support in the pack that we also have gotten the, or maybe I'm wrong actually, but there is new Flame Swordsman support, which is in the same pack as was the Bonfire and the Transaction Rollback and all of the Stone Sweeper cards. They are not called Stone Sweeper cards, I've forgotten them. All of the now I'm blanking on it. I have to check this so I don't talk trash here. Yeah, the Earthbound cards. So I think this is also from that pack and support for this. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong here, but this could be Flame Swordsman support coming in this pack, which we definitely did not know of, but this could also just be a generic card. Not quite sure here. Maybe you know, and let me know in the comments. Then something we already knew, we will get new selection packs here, 3 that is, which obviously is super nice, but there's one interesting thing here. Secret pack, Rescue Team Emergency Dispatch. So a secret pack for Rescuer is super nice, and we get some machine stuff with that together, which I think is also nice. If the machine guys do not have their own secret pack, which I'm not quite aware of, then it's nice that they go into this here. It makes sense because all the other ones are basically also machines, and we can see there is the Rescue as Preventer, one of the cards that we definitely needed. And keep in mind, we don't have any pre-nerfs for the deck. I think if we would have gotten pre-nerfs, we would already know. So Rescue as will become like full power mode if we get this, though there is not the emergency in here, which is the one of the 2 Rescue Ace cards that was still missing and is definitely very important. It's not, oh yeah, here it is, the emergency, right? So emergency and preventer, both of them are very important here, though we do not see all of the cards that are in the pack. So this might be another ultra rare, another super rare, though it is a bit strange not showing us the emergency if it comes, but showing us older cards, because you can see right here in the Mikanko pack, they are basically showing us older cards, but then one new card, which is a super rare, right? So why wouldn't they show us the other new card here? But then also, if we take a look at the Pearly pack, we can see there's the Pearly Noir coming, which is definitely the important card of the cards that we are still missing from Pearly. So Pearly will once again be viable, because you can see there's also the trap Pearly Shirley that you don't play. We need the cat here, and we are getting the cat as an ultra rare, that is, which is quite nice, because if you already own this deck together with the Melfies, by the way, very funny, because it makes sense, level 2 XYZs, you also play them. You can also play them in the deck. If you want to play Pearly and you already have the Pearly cards, then just craft one of these. You only need one Pearly Noir. Just craft this card and don't pull from this pack if you have everything else already, right? And then once again, Pearly will be playable, because as it currently stands, we have the Delicious Memory at 1 and the Sleepy Memory at 3, but we cannot make the Sleepy Cat, right? So with our My Friend Pearly, we cannot get our Delicious Memory very consistently, because it's at 1, and if we get one of the other ones, it's like way worse. But now we can go 1 Delicious and 2 Sleepy, or just 3 Sleepy, and make the Pearly Noir, which she's very nice. She can, when she gets a quick play spell attached to her, just set the trap from the deck like for free, which is a second effect basically, and then you can obviously on your opponent's turn go into Pearly Noir. So I guess we will have to play outs for Pearly again, which honestly makes Snake Eyes only so much better, because they can run Kurikara and basically always have run Kurikara and can easily access the Kurikara. So I think this only, if we get more Pearly in the meta, this only makes Snake Eyes stronger, because they can just play the Kurikara and easily access her. So yeah, you know what it is. And yeah, we will get probably also the other new card here, even though it's not shown here, right? So I'm also expecting the other card for Rescue Ace here, even though it's not shown here. If we only get the Preventer, this will still be nice for the deck, but then I'm really questioning why we don't get the other card. Maybe it could also be the case that the other card is in this pack, then I don't know, maybe it's an ultra in this pack, which to be honest, at this current moment, if it goes like this here and all the important Rescue Ace cards are in here and here are the Purdy cards, then I personally will probably not pull from this pack here, because I will probably not play Branded Chimera, because I think I'm not even playing Branded Despiate. I have the deck, but I think Branded Chimera is way worse and way more boring. I will still make a guide for this for all of you who want to play this, and the other stuff in here is also not really interesting for me. I would like in the Volas just to have it as a generic card, but I can just craft it if I want to. As it stands currently, I would definitely craft the E-Pearly Noir and then maybe pull from the secret pack, depending on whether we also get the emergency and depending on how many ultra rares are in here. But other than that, I might just also craft the Preventer and then the emergency. This depends. Will this deck be stronger than Snake Eyes come full power mode? I don't think so. This deck will definitely be very strong and one of the best decks in the game, one of the top 3 decks in the game, which currently, in my opinion, are Branded Despiate, Labyrinth, and obviously Snake Eyes. And then we have a dance dedicated to the Heavens announced cards, which is the Mikanko secret pack, which we get a new Mikanko ritual monster here, which I'm not sure whether this is even used in Mikanko. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not the biggest Mikanko enthusiast. I don't think this is ever used or was ever used. Correct me if I'm wrong here, so not the biggest thing for me, but very, very nice that they give us these secret packs for archetypes that we don't have a dedicated pack in the shop anymore. So this is what's coming on April the 11th. Obviously, as I already talked about, we will have a live stream, probably not on that day, or maybe in the evening, because I have university on that day. Unfortunately, the first week of university, it fell on a very bad day. But I guess we will do it on Friday if I can't do it on the Thursday. There will also still be videos coming, obviously, for all the new stuff here. If you should buy this, maybe the openings, if I open something. But yeah, really cool. We are getting a lot of cards, and definitely like save your resources for this. And then we will also get the May pack. So a lot of new stuff coming at the moment in Master Duel, which I think is really, really cool. Let me know in the comments what you think of the announced new cards, which is the archetype that you are most hyped for. Thanks for being here, guys. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, hitting a thumbs up and the notification bell, and we will see each other in the next one.